Take your head out of the sand. It's time.
Or put your head between your legs and kiss that ass goodbye.
You are now being programmed by
64% of veterans say that Iraq was not worth fighting. Only 33% believe that George Bush's war there was worthwhile. 58% of veterans believe the Afghanistan war was not worth fighting. And that's almost identical to Americans in general. 59% of Americans as a whole, even if they didn't go there, say the same thing the veterans did. And the veterans who served there and say that the Iraq and Afghanistan wars were not worth doing, it doesn't really matter what their rank was or what their combat experience was. It's the same. We can understand that this is not what we want our country to be. And yet, how do we change this?
All right. Good morning, Mr. Knight.
Good morning.
Again. All right. Oh, wow. Where do we begin here? This is crazy. Like, it's so surreal.
18 years of history and bad things that have been happening. So where do we jump into this, right?
I don't know. I wish I had some chill for us right now, because I'm suffering from anxiety. Like, just thinking, not just from the event, just everything that has happened as a result of that event. This is craziness. Mm-hmm. Oh, Lord. Anyhow, yeah, I mean, when I watched that for the first time, I mean, the segment you had with Roland, that was pretty informative, but it's a shame that it takes all of this money and all of these years to prove what is blatant. Like, when I looked at it, I mean, anyone with cognitive thinking, any degree of cognitive thinking could have looked at that video like, this is like theoretically impossible here. Wait, what just happened? It's the top of the building, falls into its footprint. Come on. All right.
Well, the key thing is that they don't want you to look. You know, they know that you're not going to look through the 11,000 pages of the report. They know you're going to look at the summary. You're going to look at, well, these are the people who said that. I got to believe them. They also know that most Americans aren't going to really look at these buildings falling in their footprint. I, frankly, didn't look at it. Like I said, I didn't have TV for a long time. I didn't look at that for a long time. But if you look at controlled demolitions and you see how difficult it is to make them fall in their footprint on YouTube, if you look at skyscrapers, in many cases that have burned, steel skyscrapers that have burned for days and never, ever collapsed. They might have bent, they might have, twisted over or whatever, but they've never, ever collapsed like that. You have to start asking yourself, is this absolutely possible? Most people who look at it, who are shown the videos, as AE 9/11 Truth said, most people, if they see the actual videos of this happening from 4 different angles, they don't believe it.
Right. I mean, when I first heard about the 7, I was like, wait, there's another building that fell? And I can't remember where I found that at. Something online. I'm like, wait. It was probably
because they really hit that Twin Tower thing. They just want you to think about it as being 2 buildings and 2 planes, but it's 3 buildings and 2 planes.
Oh, yeah, and then the planes that vanished, they crashed. Well, where is the plane? Plane crashed in the Pentagon. Where is that plane? I mean, I see a hole.
Oh, yeah.
I see an explosion. All right.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about the Pentagon and how absurd that is. Really? That's absolutely amazing. And I've told this story before, Jonathan, but I went to, my wife and I went to a vacation location that's not too far from Austin. And we were in a tourist gift shop, and it was just, my wife was looking through it, and I was just standing there by the door because I wasn't interested. And the lady was kind of lonely and wanting to talk. She'd been there all day, and she was telling me how she and her husband had set this up after they retired from the military. And she started telling me about how she worked for the accounting people. She said, it was that office right there where we were finding all kinds of fraud, and I got out of there just a couple of weeks before that hit. And she said, we had congressmen who were not going to run for office again, quietly take an exit so they didn't get prosecuted and so forth. She said, we found billions of dollars that were missing there. And I got out of there just before that plane hit. And I said, she doesn't even make the connection. She doesn't make the connection because all she does is she watches Fox News. That's where she gets all of her news. I asked her.
Wow. All right. The last part. That seemed really ridiculous. That fireproof, explosion-proof passport. Well, what's up with that? Like, so this survived. This is fireball that leveled this building, but this passport that was on that plane can fall down totally intact. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites too. Yeah, absolutely. And the whole idea that, and I've been very suspicious of, the phone call. The wife didn't actually talk to the people that were on United, was it Flight 93 or whatever? That was an intermediate operator who talked to him for a very long time, but never patched the guy through to the wife. And I'm thinking, since when, do you have phone calls that go that long on a plane? Or, the Ken Olson, who was a lawyer for that. I am suspicious as I am. I think that's one of the reasons why they tell everybody, you got to put your phones down. Not because it's going to cause the plane to crash. I mean, the plane wouldn't get off the ground if it was going to be interfered with by cell phone signals, because there's more of them on the ground than would be in the air. But I think that was so that you wouldn't realize what they're telling you about the phone calls is absolutely impossible. I guess I can hear John McCain laughing from hell, because that's basically where he has trapped us in these unending wars.